Welcome back to Longbox Diving, where we explore comics and story arcs pulled from the long box. And it is time for a new comic book day review yet again, and we are doing Once and Future number 22. Once and Future number 22. This is one of the top 10 books, in my opinion, for my year. One of the top 10 books. This is a great book. There wasn't a lot of spoilers in this one, so you should be okay. But I would recommend you read the book before you watch the review. But definite recommend so far. This is a fantastic book, one of my top 10. And look at that cover. Look at Granny on the bike with all those things, fairies flying around. I don't know what they are. That is a solid 4 cover. That is a fantastic cover. And so we get into the story, and again, we know they are over in the other world. King Arthur has brought the other world into reality, in a sense, and they're being chased by a dude riding a fire-breathing lion. Yeah, see that? A dude riding a fire-breathing lion. I don't know who I don't know who this dude is. I'm not sure, but he is like, you need to join King Arthur. And they crash into this building, and the lion's there, and they actually go into these tunnels, and the tunnels are supposed to lead to something, I think a weapon cache, right? They're just looking for a weapon cache. So those tunnels are supposed to lead to this weapon cache. Now, at the same time, remember they brought a bunch of the old people over into the other world because they couldn't leave them, and then the castle got brought over, and then they're kind of stuck there. And so Granny had given them a list of things to do in case of bad things happening. And one of the bad things has decided to happen. A giant has attacked the castle. You know, fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of an Englishman. Yeah, that guy is now attacking the castle. And so this young, I guess he's Indian. I'm not sure, Pakistani. But he goes over and he is trying to ring this bell. So there's a certain bell. They're supposed to work with the fairies. They got to bring them an offering of a cow, meat offering. And if they don't, they could piss off the fairies, and then they would get eaten by the fairies. So he's trying to ring the bell to bring the fairies to help fight the giant monster. And he's like, hello, little delicious Englishman. And the guy goes, part of me was hoping racism would actually work in my favor this time. That was funny. That was hilarious. That made me laugh. That was great. And so he rushes into the castle, and he's like, bad news, the bell didn't work. It was great. So they go in, and they find out the secret weapons cache is, yeah, it's a library. It's a library. And it's not just any library. It is Shakespeare's library. Now, Shakespeare apparently was one of the greatest monster hunters of the time. And again, you know, the whole saying from Shakespeare is the pen is mightier than the sword. Because Shakespeare figured out the way to fight mythological and legendary monsters from story is to write new stories. That makes sense. And so Granny is like in like you see all these papers on the wall. You see all those papers. They are actually stories that are confusing, unfinished stories that have no ending, and therefore the enemy can't go into the secret weapons cache of Shakespeare's library because it can't see past the story. That is cool. That's a good twist on that. And so Granny decides to take the pen and the sword. So that was kind of cool too. But then we have King Arthur, and they pull up another Eliod the Brave. But he's like frozen solid. I guess he fought a gargoyle or something. But he's like his bones. He's completely solid, and they're going to try to bring him back. So what's his face? Merlin decides to bring back the greatest of knights. And basically is his brother. I think it's his brother. I think the main character is Duncan's brother. And so he's sending him off to go battle, right? So they are back in the castle. They're coming out from underneath the barn. They're like in a barn, and Granny and Duncan and Rose, and they were down below in Shakespeare's weapon cache. And they come back out, and somebody had killed the lion. And somebody had killed the knight who was up there waiting for them. And come to find out, it was basically Percival's mom, or Duncan's mom, Granny's daughter, who is now with a sniper rifle up on it, and she is like, stay where you are, don't tempt me, Mum. So, dude, man, talk about messed up family. That is a messed up family. So, this book rating. So, the art, Dan Mora is killing it on the art. It is just, the art is beautiful in here. It is fantastic. And so the art is a solid 4, and the colors really are really pretty good too. You see here we get, you know, the greens and the for King Arthur and Merlin, and the reds of blood, and it's just Tamara Bonvillain is doing the colors. She's doing a great job with the colors. It's fantastic. But Dan Mora, I mean, look at that, look at him. You know, they're doing a great job with the art. You know, there's a lot of different angles. It's not all head on. It's not the same size panels. Fantastic stuff, and the cover's a 4. So, and the story is really strong right now. I mean, with all the different things they're throwing in, you know, the weapons cache of Shakespeare, the pen is mightier than the sword, the ability to unfinished stories will actually block the bad guy. That is fantastic storytelling. So this is a strong 4 right now. Very, very, very good. If you're not on Once and Future, you need to get on this story. Kieran Gillen, Dan Mora, and Tamara Bonvillain, they're just killing it right now with this book. So that is our review of Once and Future 22. It is definite recommend, and we'll see you next time here in the long.